Would you mind telling us what was one of your best financial decisions?
First is thinking about, kind of from, investment and choices made based on risk. And so, if I look back at my lifetime and I look at some of the best financial decisions I ever made, most of them tie directly to life choices that involve some form of risk. And let me use a specific example. I was, with Procter and Gamble for about a third of my career in finance, and I was, sitting in the U.S. business. It's the biggest business, the biggest revenue, the most profit that Procter has in the entire globe. And I was in a team meeting in St. Louis, and my boss was like, "Oh, there's some job opportunity in Russia. Anybody interested?" And it's one of those moments in life where you kind of like you raise your hand and you're not sure why you're doing it. Decided that, I would go on a look-see and go see Russia. I'd never had a passport, never left the U.S. borders. I was almost turning 30. And the first moment of, kind of being abroad and going abroad, and something I'd always thought about and always wanted to do, was leaving this healthy, safe, stable U.S. business and going to the post-Soviet Union. And this would have been in December of '95 when I went on this look-see, which for those in Wisconsin know very well what winter is like in that time of year. But, Moscow's serious. Russia is serious winter. And so I went there in, December of '95, not knowing and not knowing, kind of what it would turn into and what it would be in my life. And I spent an amazing decade in Eastern Europe. And so those moments in life where you take that risk, or I think back to, how I got to Marquette. I was a boy from Kentucky. When I came to Marquette, I didn't know anybody. I didn't, have family up there. I didn't have friends in Wisconsin or Milwaukee or at Marquette. And I took that risk to go there. And I look back over, a lifetime of friends and relationships and, business I've done with, people from Marquette and, what I earned in the end, and it's attributed back to, that risk and that choice of, going to Marquette and doing something different than, the rest of my high school would have done. And so I do think, kind of those best financial decisions, they talk about risk return, but thinking back, those choices you make in life of going and doing something, and those risk moments are where you get the best financial return, but you also the life learnings, the life lessons. So I look back at both Marquette choice and that choice to go to Eastern Europe is two of probably some of the biggest risks I've taken. And now I've embarked on a third. Probably my third biggest is starting SynFiny. I left Procter and Gamble, a Dow component since the 1860s, 70s. Very successful company to start my own company, and we're 6 years, going 7 years into it, and that risk is something that personally is rewarding too. So I think that risk is part of all of the best financial outcomes that I've had in my life, without a doubt.